Maria, a young kitten with fluffy white fur and bright blue eyes, loved spaghetti more than anything in the world. Spaghetti was her favorite food, and she could eat it at any time of the day. Every morning before school, Maria made sure to eat a big plate of spaghetti with some chicken. Her mother, Luna, knew how much Maria loved it, so she always packed a box of spaghetti for her to take to school. Maria wasn't just an ordinary kitten. She had a habit of eating spaghetti while doing almost everything. She would eat it while watching her favorite movies, slurping the noodles noisily as she laughed at funny scenes. She even ate spaghetti while reading her books, sometimes leaving tiny sauce stains on the pages. Maria didn't mind because, to her, spaghetti was life. One bright morning, after finishing her spaghetti breakfast, Maria left for school, carrying her lunchbox full of, you guessed it, spaghetti. During lunchtime, she opened her lunchbox and happily gobbled up her meal. She was so full and satisfied that she smiled all through her afternoon classes. But on the way home, something strange happened. While sitting on the school bus, Maria suddenly felt a sharp pain in her stomach. She felt dizzy and uneasy. Then, to everyone's shock, Maria started vomiting worms. Long, squirming worms spilled out, making Maria cry out in fear and pain. Her classmates screamed and moved away from her, and the bus driver quickly stopped the bus. Maria felt so weak she could barely move. The driver called for help, and an ambulance arrived to take Maria to the hospital. The doctors examined her carefully and treated her. They told her she had probably eaten bad food, which caused her to get sick. Maria rested at the hospital for a while before being sent home, feeling a little better, but still shaken by what had happened. When Maria got home, she didn't tell her mother, Luna, about what had happened on the bus or at the hospital. Instead, Maria did what she always did. She asked for more spaghetti. Luna, being the kind and caring mother she was, had already cooked a big pot of spaghetti, knowing her daughter would want some after school. Maria sat in the living room with her plate of spaghetti and started eating. But as she happily slurped up the noodles, the same thing happened again. Maria's stomach began to hurt, and suddenly, she started vomiting worms all over the floor. Luna, who had been in the kitchen, came rushing in. When she saw her daughter vomiting worms, she froze in shock. Then, overcome with fear, Luna screamed and ran out of the house, too scared to help Maria. Maria was left alone, feeling weak and helpless. She picked up her mother's phone and called the hospital herself. By the time the ambulance arrived, Maria had vomited so many worms that she could barely speak. The medical team quickly treated her again and explained the dangers of eating the same food over and over, especially if it wasn't properly stored or cooked. This time, Maria finally understood. She realized that her love for spaghetti had gone too far. It wasn't healthy to eat the same thing every day, and she needed to take better care of herself. From that day on, Maria promised never to eat spaghetti again. She even started trying new foods, like fish soup and fresh vegetables, and found out they were just as delicious. As for Luna, she eventually returned home and apologized for running away. She hugged Maria tightly and promised to help her make better food choices in the future. Together, they made a fresh start, leaving spaghetti behind as a lesson learned the hard way.